Canada geese. Even if you aren't a bird watcher, you can probably recognize a Canada goose when you see one. No matter where you live in Illinois, you can find Canada geese. This species has adapted well to human habitats and been able to thrive. What does it look like? The Canada goose is a large bird with gray-brown body and wing feathers and black feathers on the head and neck. There is a white patch on each side of the head. The chest feathers are light gray. The tail feathers are black-brown, and the rump feathers are also dark with a white band on the tail. Feathers on the bottom of the body behind the legs are white. The bill, legs, and feet are black. Males and females of this species have the same appearance. How big is it? Canada geese live throughout the United States, and there are different types of Canada geese. The different types are different sizes. The two main types of Canada geese seen in Illinois during fall and winter are the giant Canada goose and the interior Canada goose. The giant Canada goose is the kind that you probably see most often in Illinois because they live here all year. Giant Canada geese weigh from almost 9 pounds to more than 16 pounds. They have a wingspan as large as 6 feet, which is the largest of all waterfowl in Illinois, except swans. Interior Canada geese nest near Hudson Bay in Canada. They are slightly smaller than giant Canada geese. They weigh between 6.5 and 9.5 pounds. Each wing is about 18 to 20 inches long from the wrist joint to the tip of the longest flight feather. Does it make any sounds? This species makes a honking sound, sort of like a wonk or caronk. It also has a variety of calls to communicate with other geese, such as alarms, greeting, or distress calls. Where does it live? The Canada goose is a migrant, winter resident, summer resident, and permanent resident in Illinois. In North America, some Canada geese migrate from their breeding grounds in the north to more southern locations where open water and food are easier to find in winter. Some geese stay in areas where the water freezes over for some time, and in those places these birds often take shelter on the ice at night and when they are not feeding during the day. They fly to farm fields and grassy areas away from the ice to find food. They will move farther south when their food supply declines and/or weather conditions worsen. Other geese are permanent residents where they live because food and open water are available all year. The Canada goose populations in Illinois that migrate into the state from the north come from as far north as central Canada. Interior Canada geese leave their nesting grounds in early September, but many of these geese may not move into Illinois until weather conditions in the northern regions make finding food difficult. They may start their return trip as early as mid-January, following the melting snow line northward. Interior Canada geese usually arrive back at the breeding grounds in April, often before all of the snow in that area has melted. Canada geese stay near a water source throughout the year. They use the water for shelter from land-based predators, and they feed in the water, although they also search for and eat food a long distance from water. What is the nesting season like? Canada geese may form male-female pairs when they are 1 or 2 years old, but most females do not nest until they are 3 to 5 years old. Canada geese form a pair bond for life. If one member of the pair dies, the surviving bird seeks a new mate. They tend to return to the same place to nest year after year, but if it is not available, they will nest nearby. Nesting can start as early as late February in Illinois. The nest is placed near water, often along the bank of a lake or stream. They have also been seen nesting in marshes, on cliffs, on islands, on platforms and trees, on the banks of water bodies, on building roofs, on muskrat houses, on median islands and parking lots, in abandoned bird nests, and in other places, some of which may not be ideal for raising young. They will nest in human-made structures intended for goose nesting too. When a suitable nest site is found, the female goose either builds from the base of a previous nest or makes a new depression in the soil or other substrate. If she is within reach of plants, she will grab and pluck them with her beak, then add them to the nest. She continues to add materials to the nest as she lays eggs. She even pulls down feathers from her breast and adds them to the nest. The number of eggs laid varies, but is usually from 4 to 7. The female incubates the eggs while the male guards the nest. She usually leaves the nest once in the early morning and once in late afternoon each day to eat, drink, and clean her feathers. When away from the nest, she covers the eggs with down feathers to keep them warm and protected. The eggs hatch in about 4 weeks. The young birds leave the nest soon after hatching from the eggs. They can walk, swim, and feed as they follow their parents. The young geese grow quickly and are able to fly in about 2 months. A pair of geese has a territory around the nest that they defend by making sounds, by making threatening postures, and sometimes by physical contact. What does it eat? Canada geese eat a variety of foods, including grasses, clovers, corn, soybeans, wheat, and aquatic plants. They have adapted to eating mown lawns in urban areas very well. Does anything eat it? Eggs are preyed upon in the nests by foxes, striped skunks, American crows, coyotes, gulls, raccoons, and other predators. Young geese may be captured and eaten by peregrine falcons and great horned owls. Adult birds may be taken by eagles, especially if the goose has been injured, or coyotes, but adult geese are aggressive and very few predators will hunt these large birds. Humans also eat Canada geese. What else should I know about it? Canada geese can live for many years. It is common to find individual Canada geese that are more than 10 years old. Records have been kept that show one wild Canada goose living to at least age 33 years. This species flies in flocks that vary in size from a single family to hundreds of individuals. They usually fly in a V shape or in a line or string. Canada geese molt their flight feathers all at once in summer and are unable to fly for about 45 days until the replacement feathers grow and mature. These birds have become adapted to human-altered areas like parks, golf courses, and suburban neighborhoods that provide them with food, water, and nesting space. In some places, they are considered to be pests because there are so many geese in small areas, and they deposit large amounts of waste materials. Noisemakers, trained dogs, and other methods have been used to try to disperse such geese. Can I hunt it? Canada geese are migratory birds and are protected by the Migratory Birds Act. Hunting, possession of the birds, and interference with these birds' activities are subject to regulations. Hunting seasons are set annually. In Illinois, special youth goose hunts are held. You can find details about waterfowl hunting on our waterfowl hunting webpage. A list of public hunting areas is available at our Public Hunting Areas webpage.